SARS has been taken completely aback by KPMG's aberrant and ethical conduct. KPMG unilaterally announced the purported withdrawal of its report, despite the existence of a service level agreement governing the relationship between the two parties. It is important to note the material terms of the service level agreement, which provides that 1. All rights, title, and interest, including intellectual property rights, literary works created, written, and or presented by KPMG and or its agents and employees, which relate to the service performed by KPMG, vest exclusively in SARS. 2. KPMG has irrevocably and in perpetuity transferred, made over, and assigned to SARS all intellectual property rights in which SARS has accepted. And finally, KPMG has waived all its moral rights conferred upon it as an author by the provision of Section 20 of the Copyright Act of 1978. Accordingly, the above contractual obligation confirms that the report belongs to SARS, as KPMG has surrendered all rights to SARS. It follows that the report is an exclusive property of the South African Revenue Service, and it constitutes South African Revenue Service intellectual property. The South African Revenue Service sees KPMG's conduct as nothing else but a dismal attempt to portray SARS and its leadership in particular as incompetent, inefficient, and involved in a witch hunt activity. It is the same narrative that has been perpetuated for years by some elements within the society and in the media. This abhorrent, unethical, and unprofessional conduct by KPMG has left SARS with no option but to consider the following legal route. 1. Instituting legal proceeding against KPMG for reputational damage to SARS, including but not limited to a civil claim. 2. Report KPMG to the relevant statutory audit bodies, both locally and internationally. 3. Report KPMG to the Minister of Finance with the aim of blacklisting KPMG for its unethical, immoral, and unlawful behavior. 4. Report KPMG to the Minister of Finance to consider stopping all work currently performed by KPMG in all other departments, as well as any other work in the pipeline, until all the work KPMG conducted for the state have been investigated and reviewed for quality and proper auditing quality and expected standards. 5. Immediately cease any work which KPMG is currently performing for SARS and assess the work KPMG has performed in the last 10 years with the aim to determine whether there was any value for money and whether SARS should demand its money back. And finally, report KPMG to Parliament through SCOPA and SCOF with the aim to investigate the immoral conduct of KPMG and determine the appropriate action. The board went further, my apology, to instruct SARS to charge employees involved and open criminal charges against those implicated in these crimes. The 3 employees, amongst them, Van Lochtenberg, Pillay, and Peter Richer, were charged as a result of the Sikhakhane report, respectfully. And the following dates, 14th, the 5th of February, and lastly on the 2nd of April 2015. The 3 individuals, instead of facing the hearing and to clear their names, all of the 3 opted to resign. We want to indicate the following. The KPMG report was delivered to SARS late in 2015 and was made official and final to SARS as we received it on the 26th of January 2016. It therefore follows that the disciplinary hearing against the above were not conducted as a result of the KPMG report, but on the basis of the Sikhakhane report. We therefore want to indicate hence the assertion that those affected are mainly endeavoring to claim innocence or otherwise on the withdrawal of the KPMG report, with others claiming that their careers and careers of are destroyed as a result of KPMG report either are grossly ignorant or outright mischievous and or concerted by dismal attempt to mislead the South African public. We at the South African Revenue Services is calling upon those who are unfairly and justly accusing SARS of improper conduct on the basis of KPMG report statement to desist from such conduct. SARS has further observed another set of people who are trying too hard to claim that the purported withdrawal of the report by KPMG automatically vindicates them from their responsibility to account to the alleged criminal acts. SARS places on record that such malicious and irresponsible claims are either some acts of gross ignorance, but at worst, an attempt to circumvent the law or to mislead the public. I must state categorically clear here that in early May 2015, 2 employees voluntarily demanded to see the commissioner as they wanted to make full confession. The 2 employees informed the commissioner about the existence of an illegal and unlawful rogue unit. Included in the confession was that they were instructed by individuals in the organization to install cameras in 12 offices of both the Scorpions at the time. Further, that the purchase of the equipment was made through cash, 950,000 in cash, which was given to them by Mr. Kherinel and his colleagues. The 2 were advised by the commissioner to confess to the police, which as far as SARS is concerned, they did. Then SARS sought legal opinion which advised that in terms of the prevention and combating of corrupt activities, as a person holding high authority is legally obliged to open a criminal case, which SARS duly opened on May 2014. The case is in the hands of the Hawks, and SARS has, as a consequence, wanted the matter to be concluded as speedily as possible. From this position, as SARS, the criminal cases whose details is outlined and is not in our hands is left with those institutions that are in the public domain, the police and others, to do so. May I put it on record here that if we speak of IT capability, I have here in front of South Africans Ms. Mamate Makheche Makwane, who is a nominee of the MTN IT Awards for 2017 in the category of leadership. Then the question that begs to be answered, are we saying that she has no capability? She has no experience in IT. I'll not delve into answering questions that I have no sense of as to how they are derived at, by whomsoever has made that statement. All I can tell you is that if SARS did not have the capability and the skills, the question that begs is that, please let's go back to our track record. From the time that we took stewardship of this organization, it has been an upward trajectory. We have collected revenue, met the target, surpassed the target, and we are proud of the work that we have. So I don't see the narrative or the statement as substantive as it may seek to be, to fulfill that which it seeks to portray us to be. We have men and women who are capable, men and women who are running this institution, men and women who have all the experience to run a tax administration. And therefore, the question simply put is that statement lacks substance. We have people who can do so. And therefore, I would not like to entertain that question further than it does. It doesn't meet that does not stand the test of what we have been able to. Had we not had the quality of the leadership that it attests doesn't, SARS would have completely fallen between the cracks. Perhaps what begs to be answered here is, do we have to choose a certain criteria of people that suit a certain profile? Or we appoint people according to the qualities and that which they'll bring into the organization? I want to say the report by KPMG is not flawed. In fact, the report that from KPMG confirms conclusively, deeply so, that there's prima facie, I'm not sure that there's two words, prima facie, a double wrongdoing in this organization. That there were people who were involved in real serious problems that are not tax related. So I didn't find the report as flawed. On the contrary, when the report was given to us, it gave one goosebumps that what Sikhakhane had unearthed is just a tip of the iceberg. That is why the Hawks requested us for the copy of the report, which we duly followed the process, and that is why the investigation is continuing.